People are always asking me, what can I have as a snack or something that I can have with my porridge or with my yoghurt or just really eat at the desk at work? And a few years ago I was thinking about what different combinations of food, superfoods, can we put together that are nutritionally really good, taste really good, but also help to keep your energy levels up through the day. And so I came up with the idea of coming up with a seed mix or a topper. And the one that I'm going to use today is currently my favourite. A lot of people really like chocolate, so we're using some cacao nibs. And cacao nibs are quite bitter if you just have them by yourself, but if you mix them with other ingredients, you get a really, really good chocolate taste. And also with the cacao nibs, what a lot of people don't realise is that they're full of antioxidants. These are called cocoa flavonoids, and these are really good for the body. They help to open up the blood vessels. And I'm using my Thermomix to make this topper today. And what I'm going to do is weigh each of the ingredients. I'm going to add 50 grams of each of these ingredients. Then I'm going to chop it down, and the reason why I chop it all down is, one, it mixes it really well, but also for us to fully digest things such as the seeds, we need to break the husks, otherwise they just pass through the body and we don't get the nutrition out of it. So first of all, I'll just put the Thermomix onto the weighing scale mode, just tear it to 0, and I'm going to put the ingredients through the opening in the lid. So just going to put 50 grams in of each of the ingredients. This is one of the great things with the Thermomix, having the scales, so I can make sure that I'm getting exactly the amount of ingredients that I need. The next one's going to be some American pistachio nuts, and I use pistachio nuts because they're one of the lower fat nuts, so there's less fat in pistachio nuts, really good protein source, and again, the colours give us these antioxidants. So the antioxidants help the body to deal with all the toxins, all the stresses that we build up through the day. So again, I'm going to put 50 grams of the pistachio nuts in. So that puts it up to 100 grams. So I've got to do a bit of mental arithmetic with it as well, keep adding it up, or I can just tear it back to 0 if I'm not very good at maths. Then I'm going to use some goji berries. So goji berries, again, considered a superfood, really high in vitamins, in particular vitamin C. And the colourings, the bright colourings, these are these antioxidants again. Goji berries by themselves can be a little bit bitter, but when we mix them with these flavours, they taste great. So just put 50 grams of those in. I'm going to use flax seeds, and the reason why I'm using flax seeds is because flax seeds is a great source of omega-3 fats. So this is really good healthy fats, really good slow release energy, but we've got to mill these down. And one of the things with things like flax seeds is that once we have milled them, we really want to be eating them within a couple of weeks, because otherwise the fats start to oxidise a bit, so we need to do this fresh. So I'll make a mix like this up for myself at home about once a week, or if I'm away working with athletes, I'll make it up every day, and they'll go through this at breakfast time. So just tear it down again. $50 grams. And then the last ingredient that I'm going to use today is some chia seeds. And again, I'm using the chia seeds because really good in the omega-3 fats. And what we're wanting to do is get a mixture of all the different fats here, so we're getting all the healthy fats that we need for the body. 50 grams. Now, to mill this down, I'm going to be putting it onto the top speed, onto 10. So I'm going to put the measuring cup, the 100ml measuring cup on, and the measuring cup's been cleverly designed to have this flange around the outside, so this will stop anything flying out. So just put that on, and as soon as I start to turn the Thermomix on, then the scales will switch off. So it just closes, gradually put it up to speed 10. And I'll just mill that for about 15-20 seconds. Depending on how I want it, if I want it coarse chopped, then I can leave it quite rough, or I can mill it down even further. So I'll just have a little look, and that's milled down perfectly for me. Now the flavours, you can't get this, but the flavours, the smells that are coming out are just absolutely amazing. And I just love to smell it first of all. So I've just put it in this bowl. And you can see how that's milled down really nice. It's broken all the husks of the seeds. The goji berries are chopped down really nice with it. And a normal sort of portion, if I'm having it with yogurt, would be something like 2 heaped teaspoons, such as this. So this would be my normal breakfast. So the yogurt really gives me good protein. The topper I've made gives, again, some protein, really good fats, slow released energy, loads of antioxidants. And this will keep me energized all morning. Mid-morning, I'd have a few more of the topper mix, and that will keep me topped up really throughout the rest of the day. And that helps to prevent that mid-afternoon dip that we always get when we've been working all day. So here we go. You can really get the sweetnesses of the goji berries coming through, but the thing I really like is the hit of the cocoa from the cacao nibs.